What's up everybody, it's Cyberwise School and we're back again with another video. Today, we're diving deep into the world of online privacy, specifically, how to navigate the wild west of social media without compromising your digital well-being. Whether you're a casual scroller or practically live on TikTok, Instagram, and the others, we all know how important it is to stay safe online. That's why in this video, we're breaking down the essential tips and tricks to keep your information locked down and your experience online enjoyable. We're talking privacy settings, recognizing those sneaky scams, and understanding just how much to share online. So, let's get right into it. Alright, first up, let's talk about privacy settings. These often get overlooked, but trust me, they're the foundation of a secure online experience. Without proper privacy settings, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to all sorts of online threats. It's like, you wouldn't leave your front door wide open all night, right? The same principle applies to your online presence. Same goes for your social media. You need to be just as cautious. First things first, strong passwords. They are your first line of defense. I know you've heard it a million times, but it's important. A strong password can make all the difference. And no, password 123 doesn't count. It's practically an invitation for hackers. Get creative, use a mix of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and even special characters. The more complex, the better. Better yet, use a password manager to do the heavy lifting for you. It can generate and store complex passwords. Next up, two-factor authentication, or 2FA. This adds an extra layer of security. This is your digital bodyguard. It ensures that even if someone gets your password, they still need a second form of verification. Even if someone gets their hands on your password, they still can't get into your account without that second form of verification, usually sent to your phone. It's an extra step, but it's worth it. Most platforms offer this, so go into your settings and turn it on. It's a simple way to boost your security. Now let's talk about those privacy settings themselves. They're more important than you might think. Each platform has its own set of options, but generally, you want to control who can see your posts, your information, and who can contact you. It's all about managing your digital footprint. Take some time to really go through these settings and customize them to your comfort level. It's your online space, make it secure. It might seem tedious, but it's worth it. Your future self will thank you. And don't just set it and forget it. Regularly updating your settings is crucial. Social media platforms are constantly updating their privacy policies, so it's a good idea to revisit your settings every few months and make sure you're still cool with the defaults. Stay proactive. Remember, these platforms often prioritize showing your content to as many eyes as possible, so it's on you to set those boundaries and protect your privacy. Be vigilant. Think of it like this. Your profile is your digital home. Treat it with care. You get to decide who walks through the door, who can look through the windows, and who's just a stranger on the street. It's all about control. Up next, we're tackling oversharing. This is a big one. Because while it's great to connect with friends and family online, there's a fine line between sharing and oversharing. Stick around to learn more about how to navigate this delicate balance. Okay, let's talk about oversharing. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and share a funny story or a cool picture without thinking twice. Social media makes it so simple to broadcast our lives to the world. But in the online world, once something is out there, it can be tough to take it back. Deleting a post doesn't always mean it's gone forever. Think about it. Do you really want your future employer seeing that picture of you from last Halloween? Probably not. It could affect their perception of you. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of what you're posting and who might see it. Your digital footprint is more permanent than you might think. A good rule of thumb: if you wouldn't want your grandma to see it, don't post it. This simple guideline can save you from a lot of potential embarrassment. Sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how effective it can be. It's a small step that can make a big difference. Now, when it comes to personal information, it's best to err on the side of caution. Once it's out there, it's hard to control who sees it. Your home address, phone number, email address, those are all pieces of information that should be kept private. Sharing them can lead to unwanted consequences. Think of it like this. You wouldn't just hand out your house keys to anyone on the street, right? The same logic applies to your personal information. Your personal information is valuable, so treat it that way. Protect it as you would your most prized possessions. Another thing to be wary of is location tagging. It's fun to let people know where you are, but it can also be a security risk. It's fun to let people know where you are, but constantly sharing your location can be risky. You never know who might be watching. If someone really wants to find you, they can use that information to track your movements. It's a scary thought, but it's a reality, so Be smart about when and where you're sharing your location. Consider the potential risks before you post. Maybe turn off location tagging by default and only enable it for specific posts when it makes sense. This way, you have more control over your privacy. And remember, even if you trust your followers, you never know who might be lurking in the shadows. The internet is full of unknowns. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Taking precautions now can save you from trouble later. Up next, we're diving into the world of phishing and scams. These threats are more common than you might think. Because let's be real, the internet can be a shady place. It's important to stay vigilant. But don't worry, we'll give you the tools to spot these scams from a mile away. Stay with us. Alright, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, scams. They're everywhere and they come in many forms, specifically phishing scams, which are more common than you might think. These scams can appear in your email, text messages, or even on social media. These are sneaky attempts to trick you into giving up your personal information, like passwords or credit card details. They often disguise themselves as trustworthy entities. But don't worry, we're going to give you the knowledge to spot these scams from a mile away. With a few simple tips, you can stay one step ahead of the scammers. First things first, always double-check the sender's email address. Does it look legit? Sometimes it's just a single letter off. Scammers often use email addresses that are very similar to real companies, but with a few subtle differences. These small changes can be easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. Next, pay attention to the message itself. What is it asking you to do? Is it riddled with typos and grammatical errors? Scammers often don't take the time to proofread their messages. That's a major red flag. Professional companies usually have high standards for their communications. Legitimate companies put a lot of effort into making sure their communications are professional and error-free. They want to maintain their reputation. And speaking of the message, what's the tone? Is it polite and informative, or is it aggressive and demanding? Is it creating a sense of urgency or trying to pressure you into taking action quickly? Scammers love to make you feel like you're running out of time. That's another common tactic used by scammers. They want you to act impulsively without thinking things through. Always take a moment to consider the request. And of course, be wary of any links or attachments. These can be gateways to malicious websites or downloads. If you're not 100% sure where a link is going to take you, don't click on it. It's better to err on the side of caution. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Taking a moment to think can save you a lot of trouble. If you do come across a suspicious email or message, don't engage with it. Ignoring it is often the best course of action. Don't reply, don't click on any links, just report it to the platform and move on. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know, the safer you'll be. The more you know about phishing scams, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself from them. Stay informed and stay safe. And that brings us to the end of our online safety crash course. Thanks for watching and stay vigilant out there. So, that was a rundown of how to stay safe on social media. We covered a lot of ground, from privacy settings to phishing scams. But the key takeaway is this: your online safety is in your hands. Be mindful of what you share, who you share it with, and always be on the lookout for anything that seems suspicious. The internet can be an amazing place, but it's important to navigate it with caution. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tech tips and tricks. And as always, thanks for watching.